From one Brazilian who could well join Arsenal to another who may not, it appears. Vinicius Jr. This one's on the back of the Sun, no bin, no fee. All smiles as he returned to Real Madrid ahead of crunch talks over his future. So where are we at with this one, do you feel, Sam?
Well, it's an interesting one. Arsenal's position is that if Vinicius does not want to sign a new contract, and if Real Madrid are not willing to let him go into the final year of his deal, which does expire at the end of next season, then they would be willing to make an attempt to sign him. Now, that's obviously a lot of ifs, and there's a long way to go on this, but Arsenal's position is that they, across the board within the club, feel that they could do it in that scenario. That's obviously in itself very interesting, because this is a sort of deal that financially goes way beyond anything that Arsenal have done before in their past. And people might point at Declan Rice, for example, but I think the numbers that we would be talking about here for Vinicius Jr., certainly in terms of wages, are astronomical compared to Declan Rice. And according to the latest reports in Spain, Vinicius has effectively turned down a contract which would in England be worth around £550,000 a week. In Arsenal's current highest earner is Bukayo Saka on close to £300,000 a week. So you're almost doubling the highest earner and completely shattering the wage structure. It's not the sort of deal that Arsenal have done in the past. It's not the sort of deal they have done under Mikel Arteta in this sort of revolutionary process that he's overseen over the past 6-7 years. But perhaps they feel they're now in a position as Premier League champions. Perhaps they feel they can get enough sales in, enough money generated through departures to really make this happen. But as I say, it's a big departure, and there are so many ifs and maybes behind this deal that I think it's so definitely too early to call.
OK. Martin, I just wonder, for context, when I think about, the Premier League as a whole and the players that have been signed over the season, the big transfers, but, actually signing this level of superstar by any club has been very, very difficult, hasn't it? Would you say that the Premier League more like makes superstars rather than sort of recruits them from abroad? What do you think?
Yeah, I think that's an argument for saying it does that, because I just think the way it is, most clubs have this sort of structure that they don't want to disrupt too much. So, as you say, if he's being paid 550,000. That would be, certainly in terms of Arsenal, that would just put him out of a different stratosphere to all the other players, and there's a risk there, of what does that create problems in its own right. So, I think you're right there, David. It would be a departure to bring in somebody like that, especially at the height of his career as he is now. So it would. I think that will be something Arsenal will have to weigh up and calculate. The benefits against the negatives.
Arsenal, the champions, 3 weeks to go until the start of the Premier League season. All eyes on them and how they'll set about trying to win it again, defend that title. Jay Bothroyd then here to discuss his former club, but you've changed your tune a bit on Vinicius Jr, haven't you? If people missed this in the past hour. You went from euphoria last week to cool-headed assessment of the numbers, and you say it won't work.
Yeah, Teddy, I got gassed. I ain't even going to lie, I got gassed. But, I mean, listen, if it does happen, it will be one of the best signings Arsenal have ever made. Yeah. Because he's a fantastic player. He's electric, like I said before. He's a winner. He knows what it's like to play in big moments. But it's not easy to come to the Premier League, so it will still take him time to adjust. But that definitely is a statement signing. And if Arsenal could get that over the line, all the fans are going to go down to the Arsenal shop and get Vinny on the back straight away.
So you make the money back.
I'll be down there getting it for my son for sure. But I think when you look at the financially, it doesn't make sense, and I just don't feel like Arsenal will make that kind of move. Because you've got to pay the transfer fee. There's going to be a big one. And then you've got to pay his salary. Like I said before, you're going to have to pay him the best part of 800,000 a week gross to get him there. And I don't see Arsenal shattering their wage structure to do that. And it's not just for him. It's what comes after him. The likes of Declan Rice, the likes of Saka again when he wants to sign a new deal, the likes of Odegaard if they want him to stay, he's going to want a lot more money. The likes of Saliba, Gabriel, some of the world's best centre-halves. They're going to take him
through the roof.
Yeah, they're going to take him into the next stratosphere, and then I don't think Arsenal can make that kind of move. Again, there's no doubt about it. I got excited the other day. But there are other players in world football that I would be excited to see at Arsenal as well.
Well, I wonder what Christos Solis makes of all this, because he impressed, didn't he, against Girona yesterday, put up some serious numbers over the past couple of years in Belgium. I just wonder with him, with Martinelli, do Arsenal actually need a left winger? What's